You're listening to the Bogota Boys, recorded at the No Limit Cafe, downtown Bogota, Tennessee. We hope you enjoy this episode.
The Bogota Boys are sponsored by Craig Barron Surveying, West Tennessee Crappie Fishing Guide Service, Chase Patty Outdoors, Pine Bluff Materials, Universal Contractors, Nutrient Ag in Wimberg, Jimmy Moppin, Hidden Hooks Ministries, Pete Kaiser Accounting Services, Mud Lake Planning Company, DeKalb Asgrow and Delta Pine, Outer Limit Power Sports, Dr. K's Tin Cans, Mallard Landing Duck Club, Kyle Jackson Scouting, Hurt Seed and Halls, K-Rose Farmers Gin, Jove Cotton, Waterfowl Outfitters of West Tennessee, Tyson Foods in Newbern, Cypress Creek Outdoors, Duck River Bird Taxidermy, Farm Credit Mid-America, Ford Construction, Hilliard Farms in Nauvoo, Window Alexander Realty, Choctaw Transportation, Steepleton Tire in Memphis, and our very own Childress Farms.
Hello, listening world. This is Tony Childress, the host of the Bogota Boys. We're broadcasting from No Limit. We're broadcasting from the No Limit Cafe in downtown Bogota, Tennessee, which is the duck hunting capital of the world, self-proclaimed by us.
Mama, could you have Tony quieting down?
The No Limit Cafe is a 5 moon. I'm changing it. We're not stars anymore. We're a 5 moon restaurant.
I don't count but 4 moons.
Well, you can't count. There's 5 people here.
No.
Anyway, Wally, you got anything to say? Good. Bubba, you got anything to say before we get started with our guest?
Hold on, Bubba. I'm first.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I guess I could announce the youth coon hunt.
Yeah, when is it?
It's going to be November the 14th. Starts at 5 o'clock right here at No Limit Cafe in Bogota. Bring your kids. You don't need to bring dogs or guns or anything. Food will be supplied and some giveaways will be here and provided. Just bring adequate clothing, boots and jacket and stuff like that.
Kind of talk about what's going to go on that night.
All right, so what it is, local houndsmen is what we're going to call them, coon hunters. They're going to bring their dogs and we're going to pair them up with kids in groups and they're going to carry them hunting. They will do it and kind of try to do it in age groups so that no kid is getting outwalked or anything like that. And it's a fun experience. You don't have to be quiet. You know, it's a little different than most hunting, you know.
Hey,
I'm trying to think of how many we harvested last year.
22.
22, I think, is what was brought back.
Bubba, can you squall like a coon? Do it.
No.
Do it, Bubba.
No.
Come on,
Hey,
Bubba.
I'm
Bubba,
good.
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What time do you think this event will end for those parents who bring their children?
Well, with it being on a Friday night, we're going to try to get it, done as quick. I think last year we did about 10 o'clock. I think most of the kids hopefully will be hunting within not very far of here, so hopefully we can wrap it up and get them back home in bed. We don't want them out too late.
Now, you said parents bring their kids and drop them off. Do the parents need to stay?
Yes, the parents do need to stay, and they can accompany their kid to the woods and enjoy it themselves, too. I'm sure there's a lot of parents that ain't never been,
Well, I'm 84 years old.
Who are you?
I'm your mama.
Oh.
Hey,
Have you forgot?
Hey, lady in blue.
Yeah.
You need to remember how to follow the program. We'll get to you in a minute.
Mommy, you can speak anytime you want. Just your favorite son, Tony's saying that right now.
Miss Judy, I think, is going to tell you last year was the first year she had ever been.
Yes.
At 83.
Yep.
Had fun.
So it'll be a good time, some good fellowship.
Well, that's what I was going to ask her about in the podcast was the coon hunt. But
Was it? That was the whole
Well, we can
thing.
still ask her that.
pretty much.
Are you still looking for, I guess, maybe some landowners or
Yeah,
places to carry?
if there's any local landowners that wouldn't mind us carrying a group of kids that night, reach out to me so we can get together. And the closer, the better.
And looking for some giveaways.
Yeah,
we are centered around coon hunting or just hunting in general.
Yeah, there's going to be some giveaways there. We ain't got it all lined out yet, but there will be stuff here we'll be giving away that night. So be sure, and all you got to do is show up to get a chance to win, and hopefully we got some door prizes. And like I said, there'll be a meal provided for the kids and the adults also.
All right, November 14th at what time?
We're going to put 5 o'clock, but we're going to eat before we go to the woods. So if you're running a little behind, that'll be fine. You know.
And where will it be? No Limit Cafe?
Yes, sir. 9595 State Route 78. It's going to come up as Ridgely, Tennessee, but it's in Bogota.
Bogota, Tennessee, 38007.
Trust me, come to Bogota, you'll find it.
Yeah, it's on the corner of 103 and 78.
It's the biggest building in town.
Mention
Actually,
your,
it's not, Wally, but that's okay.
your new series too.
Well, it's up to y'all. Whatever y'all want to do. You can talk about it, RT. You got it. You got it in front of you.
Okay.
Arte, you're the host.
Come on,
It was Bubba's idea.
Of what?
Duh.
This year at the No Limit Cafe, we put out a flyer of it, but we're doing a duck season dinner series, which will be here at the cafe. It's 4 nights during duck season. It'll be December 13th, December 27th, January 17th, and January 24th. And each night's different. One night's a shrimp bowl, one night's a steak and chicken breast, one's a pork steak or ribs, one's a pork chop or chicken breast, and it's sides and stuff to go with that. But it's something, I guess, for people that are in the area hunting to come together and eat and fellowship. So
Is there going to be any camaraderie?
there sure is, Tony.
Well, good. Good.
Might be some appetizers.
Yeah, we're going
Okay.
to work out some appetizers there so people can eat while they're waiting on.
Well, there's one of them boards that's got meat and cheese on it. Charcoal board.
Yeah, there you go.
Charcuterie.
It's charcuterie.
What?
Hey, Bubba, if let's say I'm somebody that's bored enough to come to one of these things,
Yeah.
how would I get?
We hope you're not, Tony.
Well, don't worry, I'm not that bored yet.
Somebody'd have to give them the money to pay for it.
What would I need to do to
So
inquire?
you can reach out to me or the podcast page. I'm sure they can do that.
How would I
too.
get you?
You trying to get me to put my number out over the
Well, I
line,
mean,
you know?
you're
that's
advertising. I
all
don't
24
care.
listeners, Bubba.
I don't care if you.
What are you hiding from?
All right, you can call me at 731-334-0918 about the coon hunt or the meal, either one, and we'll get you all the details to either one of them.
Hey, about the meals, is seating limited?
Seating is limited. If you've never been to the No Limit Cafe, we're not just a huge place here, so seating will be limited.
Well, they say every fine restaurant only has so many seats. That's also true of the No Limit.
And I guess we're waiting closer to
Yeah, I can't
Closer
price
to
it.
time to
Yeah, I
price.
can't really price anything with the way meat prices are fluctuating right now. It'd be kind of hard for me to price something all the way out in January.
Well, I'll tell you this: the camaraderie will probably be priceless.
Oh,
Don't-
definitely.
Anyway, RT, you got anything to add? But we'll get to our guest. I mean,
No.
we're 25 minutes into the podcast, and
well, we'd probably be like 12 if you didn't do so much talking.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
So
I've
won't
been-
you introduce our guest? And this second time you've been on it, second or third?
Second.
Oh, you been on it for?
She talked about the coon hunt, didn't she? On the
Afterwards?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think. Yeah, I think that's right.
Our 24 listeners probably don't remember that.
So go ahead, Tony. Introduce.
Well, thank you for permission, RT.
You're welcome.
Sir.
Say, sir.
Your honor.
There you go, Honorary. Speaking of Honorary, I'd like to introduce our special guest. This is my mama and Wally's mama and 3 other people's mama as well. Her name is Judy Childers, and what we're going to talk about today, I hope, is how it was growing up, she's going to call behind the levee in the 1940s and 50s, and how it was back in that particular point in time, how people lived, how they made a living, and things of that nature. Now, behind the levee there's a community back there on 79 Highway when you go across the big levee. It was called Hathaway. It's not there anymore. There was a ferry crossing at Hathaway. I think it was called Powell's Ferry, wasn't it, Mama? And it was directly across from the Crothersville, Missouri. Mm-hmm. So, Mama, beginning, just state your name. That's a pretty easy question.
Judy Bartrey Childers.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 84 years old.
You ever been coon hunting?
One time.
When? Last year?
Last year, I got to ride the Can-Am. It was a beautiful night. Those kids, they had the best fun, I just laughed. They would fall down, they'd get up, they'd wade the water. It was great.
Okay.
Good luck coon.
All right. So you were born in 1941, correct?
1941.
Okay. Now, who was your mama and daddy?
My mama was Bertha Richardson. My dad was Ernest Bardry.
Okay. Now, were you an only child?
Oh, no. I was one of 12.
One of 12? Okay. Now, in that ranking of 1 of 12, where were you?
About 6 down. About middle.
Were you the middle child?
About the middle child.
Dang. That's one of
Wait
Tony's
a
your
minute,
favorite.
Wait a minute. You can't be a middle child with 12.
Well, she can. She said she is.
Well, I said about in the middle. I didn't say
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah.
That must where
Exactly
you
6.
get your. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to figure out something during
Yeah.
this.
I said about.
You didn't get her on that.
Now, where were you born?
I was born in Lake County,
Okay.
Is that in
down
Tennessee?
behind the levee.
Now, well, hold on a second. Were you born at home or were you born in a doctor's office?
I was born in home.
You were born at home. Who do you know who delivered you?
I think it was a Dr. Summers, maybe.
I don't know. I wasn't
There was a Dr. Summers. I'll have to look on my birth certificate.
Okay.
I do have a birth certificate.
You do have a birth
I
certificate?
do.
Okay. And you were delivered at home?
Yes.
And it was in January.
Yeah.
Was it a cold, stormy night?
Well, I don't recall the night that well, but
Well, you were there?
typically it would probably be a cold night. Yes.
Okay. Now, you were living in Hathaway with Grandma and Grandpa's been a while call in 1941. Okay. Now, what is your first memory?
What did y'all do at Hathaway growing up?
Ask her a question. What's your first memory? I want to know her first memory. There's things that, I don't know the answer to a lot of
I
questions.
guess I don't know really actually my first, but my biggest memory as far as being excited would be the fair.
Yeah, the fair. Where was the fair?
Across in Caruthersville. It was called the American Legion Fair. Of course, we had windows that raised, and it was in October, I think, is when the fair was. And they had this big old strobe lights, or whatever you want to call them, and they would crisscross in the sky. And
Yeah,
we
it's them airplane lights.
Like spotlights? Oh.
yeah, like spotlights. And when those things started going across that sky on a weeknight, we knew we had to get out in that cotton field and pick more cotton because we was going to get to go to the fair on Sunday.
You went to the fair on Sunday?
Stayed all day long.
Now, how did you... Now, you were in Tennessee, but the fair was in Missouri. And there's a big old river in between, the Mississippi River. How'd y'all get there?
Powell's Ferry.
Powell's Ferry? Okay.
Drive the vehicle on the ferry and ride across and
Okay.
get up on the other side. And the lines were really, really long on both sides.
You remember what kind of vehicle it was?
No, not really.
Did y'all
I
have
just knew it ran.
It was a car, right? Or
A truck, I think.
Truck.
Did y'all have electricity back then?
We had no electricity. I can remember when we got the electricity. I was born in 41, and they turned the electricity on in 1952. I
So-
believe I'm right about that.
So you
That
lived
was-
11 years without electricity.
I did.
Now, how'd y'all light y'all's houses?
Well, coal oil lamps, and back then, every child had jobs. You brought in the wood for the winter, and you had to do it every day. And you put it behind the stove, and if you had to, and the weather was going to get really, really bad, we had a front porch, a screened-in front porch. You would get the wood off of the rank outside and put it along the front porch, enough of it to stay dry where we could stay warm.
So there was no electricity, so when you cooked a meal, it was cooked on a wood stove, correct?
Well,
And-
Mama finally got a kerosene stove later on. But yeah,
I guess that'd be a
that could-
gas stove. I never heard of a kerosene stove.
Well,
I
they
bel-
had fuel, so I
believe-
bet it was.
I believe it was. I know that we had a kerosene refrigerator, And anyway, getting back to our jobs, you had to fill up the lamps every day. Kids had to. They had jobs. And then you carry in the wood. And on wash day, you had to pump enough water for Mama to have good, clean water, and they'd break it. They'd put lime in it, and the settlings would all go to the bottom. And then you had a cast iron kettle outside, and Daddy would build the fire around the kettle, and that's how she got her hot water.
Now, for our listeners that don't know what she means by break the water, there wasn't like you go into the house and turn on a faucet. It was water that come out of a pump.
And put it in a barrel.
And it was a pump. You pumped it by hand.
Yeah.
And breaking it means putting something in it to take out iron, probably.
The impurities is what.
Yeah.
Probably iron.
Iron, impurities, make it to where it wouldn't. I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen like a what do you call it, a irrigation rig that looks like it's rusted. Well, that's iron. And a lot of that water had iron in it. Now, what was your job?
Well, I've done all of it. I carried wood, and our houses were built on stilts because we lived in backwater country.
Mississippi River would flood there.
Yeah.
How high was your floor off the ground?
It was high enough that when we were kids, we could stand up. I say 3 to 4 feet high, maybe.
3 to 4 foot high.
I believe so. It was high. It was high enough that, and we had to carry that wood up all those steps, which seemed to me like we had about 15.
15 steps. Now, where'd you go to the bathroom?
We had an outhouse.
Okay, no indoor plumbing.
No indoor plumbing. No.
What if you had to go to the bathroom during the day? I mean, at night.
Well, there was ways to do that. Most of the time you didn't, but they had that's not what y'all call it. I can't even remember what y'all call it. We call it a slop jar.
That's what I've always heard it called, as a slop jar. Yeah.
It had a lid, and if you had to really get up and use it, that's what you did.
Yeah, you did that during the night, and you take it out and dispose of it. Would you pour it down the outhouse?
Yes, take it to the outhouse and pour it in. And
now, for those of you that don't know what an outhouse was basically just a hole that's dug in the ground,
yeah,
and over it is a
little
bitty wood shed. And the ones I've used, and I've used them before, they've got wood seats on them. But I saw some of them that were fancy, and they had like a commode lid. Did y'all have a commode lid, or was y'all's wood?
Well, you really was uptown when you had a 2-seater.
2-seater, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Was that in the same room?
It was in the same room.
Well, but did they have like a commode seat, or was it just wood?
Just a wood hole.
Okay.
We never did really. And our toilet tissue was our old Sears and Roebuck catalogs, or old Alden catalogs. And the first part of the catalog you wanted to use and got gone first was the yellow pages. They weren't as slick as the others.
Okay. So did y'all ever have like toilet paper like you used?
When the preacher came.
When
the preacher come to eat lunch,
you brought out the good toilet
Sunday, Mama, Daddy would buy us a couple rolls of toilet tissue, which wasn't able to buy it all the time. Didn't have a lot of money in the wintertime. And Mama'd bring out the one that was the newest, and the preacher got to use that. And we might get to go use it during that time too. But then when he left, we'd take it.
So when you got to use the toilet paper, you just didn't get anyway. You were spared. You were. I'm not gonna stingy with it. You didn't get you a whole great big old handful because it was scarce.
Oh no.
Okay.
Now, back in the day, you did not waste.
Did you use any corn cobs?
Yes, sir, I have. I have. That's when I maybe went to the bathroom out in the barn.
Tell them about what corn cob you'd use at first, and then what at the end. The red one's first, and then the white one's at the end.
Well, I don't know about that.
That's what I've always heard.
I've used a lot of red ones. I say a lot. I've used some.
I'm just curious because I remember Sears and Roebuck's catalogs and things like that, and heck, you had 12 of y'all and Grandma and Grandpa. That's 15. Those catalogs weren't that thick.
Oh, yeah. Well, you'd get one every season. Every
Yeah,
season you get a new catalog.
Yeah, but there was 15 of y'all using the bathroom every day.
Well,
How many? Well, I ain't gonna say.
I'm
I think
curious.
we can move on to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
let's go on to when you started going to school.
Well, anyway, when did you first have to start working?
well, I worked in the field way before this. First thing you done was cotton picking. When I did mower, you'd get a tow sack.
As a kid, you'd get like a grain sack or something like that.
Well, potatoes came in it back then, and Mama would put a little strap on it, and that's how we first started picking cotton. We'd pick it, and they'd pour it in their sack, and then we'd move on up to a 7-foot sack, and then, well, of course, all the weight went down on Daddy's name. He got paid for all of it, and we got $3.50 a hundred.
$3.50. Yeah.
Yeah. And
100
Daddy,
pounds of seed cotton.
yeah. And Daddy would, after I got a little older, he'd want me to get 267 pounds, I believe. That was an even number of dollars some way or another. But I got 300 one time.
Did you consistently hit 267?
If you didn't, you didn't get a whipping, but you got scolded if the cotton was good. Now, our parents wasn't cruel. Our parents were good parents. They, everybody had to work. We knew we had to work, and they treated us just like, they didn't beat us if we didn't do that, or beat us if we didn't do that.
Now, did all of y'all have to pick cotton?
Everybody had to work.
Yeah.
Everybody
And
went to the
Grandma and Grandpa.
and
both.
Mom and Daddy. And then when Mom'd have a baby, when Mama had a child every 2 years, it seemed as if. And that baby would get up a little bit, and she'd take that baby and all the kids, and we'd go to the field. She'd put that baby on her sack. She wouldn't get as much as the rest of us, but she did what she could.
So she'd pull the baby on the sack.
Yeah. And a lot of times my dad would say, Bertha, her name was Bertha, said, you can go home now early today. I'm going to let you go home early today. Said, you kill a couple of them good old frying chickens out there, and you have us a good old fried chicken and gravy and biscuits and potatoes for supper. And that was her treat, to go home and kill them chickens and wring their necks. And
Well, it sounds like a treat. You've told me this before, and I'm going to ask you this, because it was kind of impressive to me. Now, there were 12 kids, let's say that. Now, when y'all would get up in the morning, would Grandma get up when y'all got up and bring y'all Pop-Tarts and cereal and things like that?
no, we didn't. I didn't know what a Pop-Tart was.
The whole point is, would she already have y'all something?
Mama, we had eggs and gravy and a lot of times meat, but not every time, and homemade biscuits.
So she would get up and fix breakfast, and then y'all would go to the field, right?
Yes. And a lot of times she would fix a meal to take to the field, like a picnic, and we'd eat under the trailer.
Okay. And then
A lot of days.
and then she'd work a full day,
Pretty much.
and then she'd go home and turn the microwave on, and you'd have a meal.
She'd go home and she'd cook supper. When she got supper done, the girls had to clean up the kitchen. So whoever was supposed to that night. And a lot of times Mama would have to, what you call, turn Daddy's sack over. He done wore the bottom out, so she'd have to patch it, and that's what she'd do, turn that sack over.
His cotton sack,
His cotton sack. Daddy had a 12-foot.
because his cotton sack was dragging along the bottom on the ground and get a hole in it.
Got a hole in it, and she'd have to patch it and turn it over.
Yeah. Sounds like Grandma had a long day.
Mama, women back then did have long days.
Okay. Now,
But I started making a hand, chopping cotton, when I was about a half a hand. That means I got paid, Daddy got paid half of what they got paid at 9 years old.
how much was that?
$4.50 a day, so $2.25,
So you'd work 8 or 9 hours a day for $2.25 chopping cotton?
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. a long day. And once I wanted to do it, I begged Daddy, please let me go to the field. I'd rather be in the field as in the house. And the ones that stayed in the house had to do the housework, the ones that were not going to the field. So I begged him, let me make a hand. And once I started, he wouldn't let me stop.
It's kind of like, hey, let me mow the yard.
Yeah.
Next thing you know,
Tony, you're talking about mamas having it hard. A lot of times when we didn't chop or didn't fix, well, Uncle Jesse, which was our landlord, would be down there and Daddy and them be planting or whatever. Mama would cook dinner every day for him, and in repay, his wife would take me to buy a new dress, or maybe even my prom dress one time. And that's how Mama, and that's how I was the first one in our family to graduate high school.
Okay.
The rest of them had to stay out and pick cotton, work on the farm.
What?
And Aunt Alfie would, she bought my first prom dress. But that's how I got it, was through Mama doing chores.
For them?
For Uncle Jesse, Aunt Alfie and Uncle Jesse, to keep her from having to, fix his lunch or whatever.
Now, the person you calling Uncle Jesse was Grandpa's brother, right?
Yeah, half-brother, actually.
And he was the one that owned the ground.
He was a landowner.
And Grandpa was not a landowner.
We were sharecroppers.
Y'all were sharecroppers.
We worked for him and got paid, sharecroppers pay, whatever it was, for the cotton that was, Daddy usually had cotton, a few acres of cotton, and he'd get a share of it. But I don't know if it was a fourth or, I really don't remember that.
So Grandpa had a little bit of land I guess you'd call rented. Is that what it was?
Well, no. Well, I mean, y'all might call it rented.
They probably paid the inputs and he did the labor.
Yeah,
but he also
just got a little share of it.
But he also worked on
profits.
Uncle Jesse's ground
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, he had to be there to work because they provided us a house to live in.
Okay. Now, how many pairs of shoes did you have?
Well, we got a brand new pair in the winter to go to school, but just as soon as you got home, you had to pull that shoes off and put on whatever old stuff you had left. And we got a brand new pair to go to church. And you took your Sunday best off when you got home, or you took your school clothes off and you took your shoes off and wore your wore-out stuff to save your new ones.
Now, did you go around barefooted a lot?
Oh, yes.
And everybody else?
Barefooted as long as the weather would let you. Yeah.
Now, was the living conditions of everybody in Hathaway at the time about the same?
Well, some had a little more than others, like it is this day and time. We weren't, we were poor. I mean, we didn't have extra money, but my parents made sure that we got what we need if we could. Now, I mean, we didn't have, Mama would sew us a little skirt, or we just made it. Daddy provided. He would hunt in the winter and fish and raise a garden, and you had to preserve what you ate during the winter. You wouldn't have no extras most of the time.
Now, this was all before welfare.
Absolutely. There was nothing.
There was no welfare, so everything that was done, you either had to earn it or work for it, which I guess is earning.
Well, when we picked cotton, Daddy would make sure this week we're going to buy a barrel of flour. The next week, if the weather's good and he can make it, we're going to buy 100 pounds of white beans. That's just the way they did. And it would be, he'd buy potatoes and he'd kill hogs. You'd render your lard. You'd preserve your hams in salt and hang your sausage. We had mostly pork. We had very little beef. Sometimes, a treat would be Daddy'd buy a few pounds of ground beef, and Mama would cook us up some good old hamburgers. That was a treat.
Did you have chickens?
I always had chickens.
So you had eggs and stuff.
And they came, Mama'd order chickens and they'd come through the mail, and then she'd raise some. And we had meat and eggs and chicken and cows, and milked our cows, and had a garden, like I said, and Daddy fished, and Mama'd canned some fish, and we didn't have no deep freeze. There wasn't no deep freezers to freeze your food.
Well, them freezers. You didn't have any electricity?
No electricity.
So if you preserved your foods, it was by canning them?
Mostly, but now in Ridgely, there was a man, his last name was King, and he had a business, and they had lockers. They were freezers. And sometimes, and I don't know what kind of meat Daddy put in them, but Daddy kind of got us one of those. And you'd have to go to Ridgely, which was 14 miles or
Long way.
from our house. And we didn't always have a car either. And but there was, later on in my life, there was a place called The Locker where Daddy rented a locker to put some frozen, maybe duck, I don't know what he put in it.
What did they do when they, I guess, picking cotton would only be a certain time of the year. What did they do the rest of the year?
The men?
Right.
Daddy hunted. Daddy hunted all the time. And, of course, if the wood wasn't going to be sufficient for the winter, they'd have to get out. They were always doing something.
So they weren't like market hunting. They were hunting, I guess, for y'all to put up meat for y'all.
Well, Daddy's duck hunting, the best I remember, the most of it was he would kill, can I say?
Yeah.
Daddy would kill 75 or 100 ducks out on the Mississippi River in a little, kind of like a john boat thing. What I thought heard was a john boat. They didn't have hunting clothes like y'all have. Daddy had a hunting jacket, I remember that, and a gun. But when he'd bring those ducks in at night, they hunted all day. And they'd bring those ducks in at night, and we'd sit around a wood stove. And we picked those ducks, the big feathers off. And that's how we stayed warm in the winter in our bedrooms, because we only had heat in one room, and that was the living room. And Mama would make a feather bed. And a feather bed is something that when you lay in those feathers, it kind of forms to your body and to keep you warm. And she would make feather beds, and of course she quilted all winter, and pillows. And that was where we got. And Daddy, what he done with them ducks, I think he took them to Caruthersville, some of them, and sold them. I've heard that.
I heard it. He told me him and another guy sold them. Now, he didn't say where.
Oh, okay.
But I remember him saying that when he was older. I remember him talking about one duck.
And we'd go thrash a pecan tree and pick up pecans, and Daddy would say, I mean, it was always some kind of little something you could make $1 or $2.
Was there a orchard or
No, wild pecan tree. You talking about pecans?
no? Not pecans. I was thinking
Peacock's orchard.
Okay,
Peaches.
was that later on or
No, that was during that time.
okay?
But whenever you get anything from that, I stole one or two along the way, because I was chopping cotton, and it would be right across the fence where I got out at then, and we'd reach over and get us a ripe peach every once in a while to eat. But that was Mr. Peacock's business. It was a big, big business back then.
Have you said how many people lived in Hathaway or how many houses?
She hadn't yet.
Okay.
That's a good. That's a question that needs to.
Well,
be
I was
asked.
trying to take some questions off of you, Tony. That
Thank
way
you.
you weren't.
Well,
A
A little hard on him
But-
to run the whole show.
Well, what he asked was, has this question been asked?
Right.
So he didn't answer the question. It was, had it been asked? So, Mama, in response to RT's question, how big was Hathaway back then?
okay, let me tell you, Hathaway wasn't a town like Bogota. Hathaway's houses weren't here to, pretty close together. We were on farms, and our farm had 3 houses. And then Peacock, he had 3 or 4. And that was in a third of a mile. I mean, there was houses everywhere. up and down that
You think
Hathaway
20 or 30 or?
Oh, yeah. At least out to the highway during when I was raised. There was a store there, a little country store.
What? How many families do you think lived out there?
Oh,
Because most of y'all were Bargeries, correct?
no. No, there were leeks and Tarnells and Pals and Turnbows and Travesteads. No,
Holden,
no, it's not.
Holders.
Holders all live back there. Holloways, McCaslins. Oh no.
Okay.
I've seen a road map of Lake County from the 40s or 50s, and it shows the area. And on that map, it had houses, and I bet there was 50, 60 houses back there on that map. Now that's in the 50s and 50s, I think.
Now, back before I was born, there was a thriving community called Old Reelfoot,
Right.
Old Hathaway back in there, and that's where there was lots of Bargeries I have read on the that come over here, and there would be a lot of Bargeries before my time, back in there.
Now Hathaway had a school, correct?
We had a school and a church and a store.
Was just one church, school, and store?
And the church and the school was built by WPA.
Is that the same building? Okay.
It was two-story.
The church and the school were in the same.
Church was on the bottom, and we went to school 10 or 15 or so steps up. It was a two-story building. Had an outside entrance.
It could have been the WPA, the CCP.
Whatever, it was a work program back then.
It was a New Deal program.
A work program.
CCRP?
No.
No, that's now. When Franklin Roosevelt got elected, America was in a depression, and instead of doing welfare as we know it now, they made work programs, and you had to CCP and the WPA and all of those, rural electrification and things of that nature.
Now, my brother told me, and I never did hear this or never did know this, that my daddy worked in Memphis at one time on something, but I never knew anything about that.
I don't know.
And
so you'd pluck the ducks, and you'd use the feather. Grandma would use the feathers to make beds and pillows and things.
make feather beds. That went on top of your mattress.
They were on top. Now, did you have a bed all to your own?
Oh, no. We had a full-size bed, and 3 kids slept in it.
Okay.
I finally graduated up to almost having a room of my own. It was just 2 beds in it.
2 beds? Mm-hmm. 2 beds.
Yeah. You did everything together back then. I mean, on the winter time, you would go to the living room at night and pop popcorn maybe, and you'd play games. We had no TV. You'd play.
And when you say play games, you didn't have cell phones.
No.
You didn't have electronics.
No.
Y'all would just play games with
like I Spy.
Like people.
Like I Spy, Riddle Marie.
Yeah.
Our daddy would tell stories. And
it was where you would be communicating with your family members.
What about books?
School books. That's all I ever remember.
Okay.
And the
We
Sears
didn't
catalog.
We had Sears catalog, and the school books is about what we had. We had a Bible. Everybody had a Bible. We didn't have kids' books. I don't remember ever having a kid book. At Christmas time, our stockings were what they call a sawmill sock. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that or not. It's what men used to wear to keep their feet warm. And that's what we hung up for Santa Claus to put our apple, orange, and nuts and hard candy, and hard candy wasn't wrapped either.
So for Christmas, your Christmas gifts were orange, apple, nuts, candy, things like that.
Now, if we had a good year and Daddy was able, we always got a doll maybe a little table. He always provided that we'd have some kind of treat, some kind of gift.
But it would be like one thing,
Well,
not 50.
No,
Not 50 things. Well, that's the point I'm trying to
one
get.
for each child.
Yeah, each child.
Some of them might have got two, but one time I got a birthstone ring. I mean, and that was something. You know.
Did you have a question, Bubba?
No, I'm good. I'm just listening.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school at Hathaway for the first couple of years. We had what you call a primer, which is what would be y'all's kindergarten. And Mama started me school as soon as she could, so I started before I was eligible. I was going to be 5 in January, and she started me in August or whenever school started.
You started at 4?
Yeah, and I graduated young too. And then there was 2 schools behind the levee. There was one right across the levee called 79, and it was a store and a school and a church there too. Almost every little community had a store, a church, and a school. And they closed our school, and we went to 79 for a while. And then I guess they closed that, and I think I went to Ridgely in the 4th grade.
Okay. Ride bus?
Oh, yeah. Ride bus 14 or 15 miles. Yeah.
How many kids you think were on that bus?
Oh, it was full. That would be however much a bus holds,
Okay. Now, you started school in like September, right?
probably.
Okay. What would happen about the middle of September?
We let out for cotton picking.
Now, what does that mean, let out for cotton picking?
That means they'd shut that school down, and all of us, all of the children the cotton was open up, and it had to be picked, and that's the only way to get the cotton out. So they they stopped it or turned out school for probably about 6 weeks. I can't.
So school shut down for about a month and a half,
Yeah.
and there weren't any mechanical cotton pickers back at that time. You used your hands.
Oh, yeah.
You mean you would literally stick your hand, for those of you that haven't stuck their hands into a cotton bowl,
It's got briars on
it's
it.
got briars on the end of it that's real prickly.
And finally your hands would start bleeding if you picked a lot. And a lot of people use gloves, but I never did.
I guess your hands would get calloused over.
They would get to where, and there was an ointment out there called Cotton Picker's Friend. Daddy would get that, and we'd use that, and that's what we done. I mean, if you didn't pick cotton, you had no money. You could not buy. And then we'd go to town every Saturday, go to Ridgely. That was a treat. They had a theater, and ice cream shop. You'd have a little money.
You'd go to Ridgely, Tennessee, and you'd go downtown
That's right.
on a Saturday.
Yep.
How many people would be in Ridgely, Tennessee?
You
on a
couldn't get
Saturday
down the
afternoon?
street. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. There's a lot of things to do at Ridgely back then. Theaters and restaurants and pool halls and beer joints. And, but we weren't allowed to even look in the pool hall.
What's the first movie you saw?
Oh, me, I couldn't tell you that. I could not tell you.
What's the first thing you saw on TV when you got
Howdy Doody.
Howdy Doody?
I do
You
remember
told
that.
that at church the other day.
I do know that. Daddy went and bought us a TV. They knew the electricity was coming on, going to be turned on a certain time, and we were sitting there like, couldn't believe. But it was so snowy, you could hardly make the picture out. But that was wonderful. That was amazing.
Snowy was the static.
Yeah, that was amazing to see a picture come through your screen.
Do you have a radio?
Dad had a radio. He always listened to the Cardinal ball games.
Grandma used to listen to Cardinal ball games.
Oh, she listened and watched it on TV both, though.
Yeah,
Mama loved it.
I remember Grandma listening to. So you went to school. Y'all let out 6 weeks during the fall to pick cotton. I
And,
wonder when they stopped that.
and also when I went to Ridgely, I was in the 7th and 8th grade, well, I don't know about the younger, I can't remember. But we'd have to stay out and pick cotton. We did, and it was called 7A and 7B. And 7A was the ones that were there and caught it and stayed on. And the 7Bs is the ones that stayed out and picked cotton. And we were behind in our learning. Our books, we were behind them. We couldn't.
So what you're telling us, if you started school with somebody your age, I guess by 7 you meant 7th grade, they knew the kids that, I guess, who parents didn't have to pick cotton in the fall, and the ones that did, and the ones that didn't were put in like one group, and the ones that did were put into another one.
Yeah.
And the ones that were put into one group were the parents, where they didn't have to pick cotton. They just stayed in school the entire time.
Yeah.
And the rest of y'all,
We were behind.
y'all were behind.
Did y'all have to go longer to catch up, or you just stayed there?
We just tried to do the best we can and learn what we could. And I don't remember doing that all through high school, but I did 7 and 8. And the other classes too.
Now, you went to high school in Ridgely.
I did.
I mean, you went to, I guess, 7th A and B in Ridgely. Where'd you go to high school?
Ridgely.
No, that was
Ridgely Greenways.
Ridgely Greenways. What year did you start high school?
Let's see, 54.
54. Okay.
19.
Now, when you were in high school, did y'all still let out to pick cotton?
We stayed out some and had to pick at different times, but as far as like staying out, no. We just missed some days.
Probably about the time cotton pickers were starting to come around. Now, during the summer times, did y'all still have to chop cotton and do the other? Because you had electricity then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, in high school, as soon as we got off of that bus, we'd hit the kitchen to see if there's anything to eat. If Mama put the beans in the oven, there'd be a note there, come to fill so-and-so. So when you got off the bus, you changed your clothes, you got your whatever you was going to do, if you could do it, eat a little bite, and then you'd go to the cotton field and pick till dark.
When you got out of school, you went and maybe got your little bowl of cold beans.
Cold beans and biscuit.
And went to
The cotton field.
to pick. Now, I asked it during the time you were in school. I'm sure they had lunches, right? I mean, did y'all bring y'all's lunch, or did y'all buy your lunch?
Well, it's according to, we had the money. Sometimes it was a quarter, I believe, was a lunch back then. And if Daddy, and they did have a family plan. So many of the family in school, they had a plan that was cheaper. I don't remember exactly what it was, but lots and lots of times Mama would fix our lunch, and we didn't have a quarter to eat on.
Yeah. Now, that was before, I guess, the federal government got into feeding kids. Now I think all school lunches are free.
Not any of the time I was in school was anything that I'm aware of being free, because I'm sure we would have qualified.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm glad they serve free lunches now. I can't imagine trying to learn when you're hungry.
I think Obama did that.
Well, I don't know who.
No.
Well, they've had it.
They've had free lunches ever since I was in school.
They have had free lunches even when we were in school.
Yeah.
I think they got it to where
Now it's everybody's free. They don't charge at all.
I don't care really.
I think I got that confused with him ruining lunch. School lunches.
That's what you
But, yeah, you got it confused where they meddle.
Now, every once in a while in school, they would bring around a tray. It'd have orange juice or something on it for the kids. I remember that too. That was a treat. They would just roll it in your room, and any time of the day, I don't remember if it was morning or evening or whatever, I just thought it was pretty nice that we got something like that. And we did occasionally.
You know, I've read some things about that time, and you had a lot of kids that were malnourished, and occasionally they would try to give them things like orange juice, give them vitamin C and things to keep them healthier, because there wasn't any like I said, welfare, healthcare. Government healthcare and things of that nature back then. Kids, I'm sure a lot of kids went hungry during school. Like I said, can you imagine trying to learn when you're hungry? I mean, it distracts me if I'm.
Me and Bubba can, because we're on this diet.
Yeah,
we're
that's what I
most of the time right now. Y'all imagine trying to listen to you when you're hungry.
No, I'm talking about hungry. Like you hadn't had a meal.
But I've talked about all the bad times.
Kind of like your dogs.
No,
Yeah.
my dogs don't. No, it's not bad times. It's just the way things were.
But there
back
was
then.
good times.
Oh, they were all good.
Family
Now,
was
my
a lot
daddy would
closer.
fish. My daddy would fish, and they fished together. We'd have big fish fries at our house. I mean, lots of people, some of his brothers and all the neighbors, and they did that quite often.
A lot of family gatherings.
The 4th of July, Daddy always made sure we had a cold drink,
What do you mean by
And
cold?
homemade
You mean
ice
like
cream.
Cold drink like Coca-Cola?
like an orange, knee-high orange, something to that effect.
soda.
Chocolate
And-
soldier.
Well, that wasn't one of my favorites. But
Well, I
there
think
might have been-
my mama always went for the Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
No, I
he
didn't.
loves Dr. Pepper.
No, I don't like Dr. Pepper. Dr. Peppers aren't even good for you, really.
What about them Dr. Pepper cakes? So
Well, you can't tell the difference.
Oh,
now.
shit. Didn't know
Yeah.
that. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, you're in high school.
High school.
What happened in high school?
Well, this
Man, let me ask you this. Did you play basketball?
this principal took a liking to me. I played basketball actually in junior high.
Oh, for the high school team?
No,
Oh,
I guess we had a junior varsity team. And this principal's the reason. It was Mr. Tom Johnson. And he really took a liking to me. He thought I was about a superstar. And so he patted me on the back and he encouraged me, and I played ball for about 5 years, I guess.
okay. You played for the Greenway. Now, you played girls basketball.
Yeah.
Now, describe how girls basketball was back then.
Well, there was 6 players on the court. There was 3 forwards, and that's the ones that shot the ball. And there was 3 guards, and they're the ones that guarded the other team, tried to keep them from hitting the goal and bring it back to us. And you couldn't get across that center line.
Now,
If you stepped on that center line, you lost the ball.
there were 12 players on the court. You had 6 on one end and 6 on the other, right?
Yeah, 2 different teams though.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I'm trying. People
Oh,
nowadays,
okay.
that's not how it is now.
No.
People,
It probably should be.
well, that's beside the point.
I thought you was talking about my team.
That's what I am. I'm trying to give people a visual of what y'all played basically half court basketball. You would. You on your team did not run both ends of the court. Okay. Now, was you a scorer or a defender?
I shot the ball.
Shot the ball. Did
Hit
you
through,
ever?
through the basket most of the time.
Did
No
not-
3-point line.
No 3-point line.
If it had been, I'd have made 100 points one game.
Okay. Now, how many points did you score in one game?
32.
You scored 32 points, and if there'd have been a 3-point line, it would have probably been 96 points.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, was you shooting 1-pointers? So maybe 45?
Yeah.
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 Did y'all foul much?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet those.
Well, we didn't foul that much on the.
She was an offensive player.
Well, we tried to get
They turned defense and they got the ball. Yeah.
when the other team got the ball, we tried to keep them from getting it back to the half court.
Because you had to
So
stop
they're-
at half court.
Uh-huh.
You ought to go back and look at some of that stuff.
They switched that when I was younger.
Yeah,
That-
when you was in 8th grade,
I remember it.
8th grade.
ninth going
Ninth
into
grade,
the 9th
yeah.
grade.
I remember it here at Bogota. They had 6-on-6.
Yeah.
So it was still. I didn't realize it went that far.
Yeah, that's how old Wally is.
Yeah.
Miss Judy, did you have any nicknames growing up?
Yeah, they call me pump handle.
How come?
You don't want to know.
Oh, we want to know.
Oh, I don't know that I won't know.
Hey, this is the smallest podcast in America. We demand to know.
Well, they said I was shaped like a pump handle,
You mean curvy?
curvy,
What was one of your friends' nicknames?
cornstalk.
Cornstalk.
Because
She was straight up.
What?
like a pole.
Yeah,
What,
a boy told her. Y'all want to hear this?
Sure.
I don't
A
know.
boy told her one time
Do you want to pay it? Tell it.
if she had my body and her face, we'd be one heck of a woman.
So when how big was your waist?
18 inches.
So wait a minute, hold on a second. So some guy told her that if she had,
My face.
well, basically, if you had her face, you'd be one woman, one heck of a woman.
Well, he was talking to her, so he told her that.
Find who that guy is.
But you're a pretty woman. Is he still alive? We might just go get him.
He's dead.
Oh,
Good thing for him.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
Now,
Now,
when you were in high school and all you and your friends got ready to go to high school, what would y'all do? Y'all load up in one of your friends' cars and go, and they ride there? Or would you drive?
No, I didn't have a car.
Well, I know that's the point I'm trying to get.
Now, my friend finally, Daddy got a new truck one time, and he let us borrow it, and we wrecked it.
That's not good. So,
But
how many vehicles did each family have?
one, if you had a vehicle, it was one.
So everybody in the family didn't have a brand new
No.
car.
Everybody went together. If you went to town, you went together. Now, my daddy bought a new truck every once in a while. Matter of fact, it was a place in Dyersburg called McAfee Motors, and it was a Dodge car.
Dodge.
And one fall, the crops didn't make because he paid it off by the fall. His payments were by the fall, and the crops didn't make, and they took it, had to turn it back in.
That king
He
got
lost it.
He lost his car because his crops were bad.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
We didn't have a car for a while. Then my brother bought Daddy a car and brought it from St. Louis.
now, which one was that?
Harold.
Harold bought Grandpa a car.
Yeah, little old car.
Now he had moved up to St. Louis. Why?
Yeah. He went for work.
Get a job.
He worked in an ice cream factory.
Seal test, wasn't it?
But I can't think of the name of it.
Now you had 3 brothers moved to St. Louis, didn't you?
All three of them.
Did all
Now,
3?
the oldest one worked for Snooks. Isn't that a grocery? Snooks?
I think
it's
girl, I think
there.
still there.
That's who he worked for. Drove a big truck.
Now when they would get 18, they'd leave home, and a lot of them went to St. Louis to work, find jobs.
They did. People in Bogota went to Chicago.
A lot of people went to Chicago.
And Buddy went up there, and they all worked. Buddy and Harold worked at the same place.
When you got out of high school, or was that during high school you went to St. Louis?
I did. I went to St. Louis and worked during my junior and senior year. And I was, 15, 16? And I got a job at a Steak and Shake dressing hamburgers. And I gained 15 pounds that summer.
You think if you had a prettier face, they'd let you been a waitress?
I might have got out front.
you're going to knock that sign over.
I think she's got.
You're pretty,
after
Mama.
Wally, I think she got a pretty face.
Yeah, I'd hate to see how pretty them other women were.
RT, you
It's
got a
Mary. Mary
Well, I was going to say before you got out of high school, when you got done playing basketball, what'd you do?
When I got done playing.
She was a cheerleader, too.
Yeah, I cheered. You mean in high school?
Yeah.
We'd usually have a senior play, a junior play. We did that. We'd have to practice after school. I was involved.
No, I
and
think he's asking, after your game was over with, did you change uniforms?
Yeah,
Become a
she cheered.
cheerleader?
Oh, yeah, for the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
I
what you
cheered.
did?
Oh, after my game was over, back then you could be a cheerleader and play ball too. So I'd play ball and then I'd change into my little skirt and top and I'd cheer for the boys.
You
Didn't
remember?
Jill and Jennifer both do that in high school?
think-
Oh, yeah, they cheered for football.
Yeah, there's football cheerleader.
Oh, okay.
You remember any of y'all's cheers?
Well, yeah.
Well, give us one.
Yeah,
Fat
Girl Scout.
foot floozy with the Floyd. Fat foot floozy with the Floyd. Ridgely High School. Boy.
That's a good one.
Flat foot floozy. We're going to look up the meaning of that.
And a Floyd. What's
This
a
is my
Well, that's all the Floyd threw me
Mama.
off.
This is a family show. I hope
Hey, we might have to come back and beep that out because we don't know what that means.
Bubba. RT, Google flat floozy with a Floyd. I'm not sure.
That might not even been the right word. That's just what I remember.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Now, y'all, Grandma and Grandpa and all y'all were, poor. Working people, proud things, worked everything, but you was poor. And you've told me this story, and it's actually got a connection to me and Wally in one particular point of way. But weren't you on the homecoming court?
I was on the football court my senior year.
Okay. And who told you that you were on the football court?
Well, I believe we had been out of school for flu back that day. And I was at home, and this car drove up, and it was the coach. Come down 14 miles to tell me I'd made homecoming court.
Now, who was that coach? Wasn't it Mr. Zeriker?
Yeah, I believe
Wayne
it was
Zeriker?
Mr.
Mr.
Zeriker.
Wayne.
I believe.
Well, that's
was
what
our principal.
I've told you
You've
that.
told me that all my life, and then that was our principal
Yeah.
in high school.
Yeah.
Probably.
I never knew he was that rigid.
Yeah, he didn't come
He
tell
was
me and
football.
Tony.
He was football coach.
He didn't never tell me and Tony we was on the homecoming.
Wally made the homecoming court. I was out there playing the football game, so.
Yeah, you're right, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah. About what, Mama?
You're always right.
About
Tony.
Mr. Zerick.
So you left. We got to get out of high school now.
Okay.
Where did you move to after high school?
I married
And moved to?
Bogota. No, yeah.
No.
Well, I
yeah.
stayed with Miss. Yeah, we moved to Bogota.
Uh-huh.
Stayed with Miss Meir for a while, and then Don went in the Army, and we moved to Atlanta.
Daddy got drafted, right?
Yeah.
He got drafted and ended up getting stationed in,
Fort McPherson
which
in
was,
Atlanta.
And it's back to Fort McPherson now, ain't it?
I don't know.
Did they change its name?
I don't know.
I think they made them all back, if it did.
I don't know that fort's still open, but it may be. I don't know. He went and trained, I remember him saying, in Fort Chaffee, Arkansas.
He did. Yeah.
And then Julie was born in
Atlanta
okay.
at the Army base.
Now, Daddy didn't join the Army. He got drafted.
Yeah.
Now, how much money did he make a month?
I know what I got.
What'd
I
you
think he got about 70 something. I got 90 something.
So you,
After Julie was born.
he always said you made more money in the Army than he did.
Yeah.
And he got paid $70 a month. $70 a
And
month.
I think Julie's part was $25. I'm almost sure. Because we saved her money. And one time he said he lost it. So we was devastated.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Back then, Julie was down there, you was alone. Daddy carried you to the hospital. Mm-hmm. Well, and he just left?
Oh, yeah. He just took me in there, and this lady took care of me, and he went back home, went to bed, and went to sleep.
Back then, did they have like birthing gifts and
No.
Push
presents?
Baby moon.
Presents,
No,
Baby moon.
baby moons, or any of that?
No
Mom?
reveals.
I mean,
no,
back in, men were men, huh?
women were women. No reveals.
That's a kind of a shot at some
Back-
people
but
we
you
know
didn't
just
really
there.
We didn't have a reveal. I didn't do any of those things.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
no,
they
He
do that
looks
now,
at me
don't
at
they?
all of them.
they do. They do.
Now,
They do a lot of
Now,
it.
was Julie born in an Army hospital?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, she was born at Fort McPherson.
All right. Then Daddy died,
Got sick.
got sick with cancer and died, and he had to come back and farm.
Yeah,
So he got out
he
in
got out.
a couple years.
Yeah.
Now, where did y'all live when y'all came back?
The little house on the other side of where Robin lives, that little 2-room.
Schoolhouse.
We didn't have
No. It was
no.
there was a house there.
They did have school there at one time,
Okay.
though.
I
It was
remember
a
it red,
2-room shotgun house. It had no air conditioning, no inside plumbing. Again.
Now it was you went from the comforts of the Army to living in a 2-room. I remember it. You don't remember, Wally?
I do.
2-room shotgun house.
Mm-hmm.
So
Daddy called it the schoolhouse.
It'd been in that little.
They
field.
was school there.
It was right beside Robbins. They had school, I think, when the barracks burned or
It
something.
did.
Yeah,
I don't know how they had school in that little.
They did.
Well, they did because
It had a 2-hole toilet thing back behind it.
I did. They had a hole in the wall where the boys drilled a hole and shot pea shooters through it.
Okay.
All right, so being Daddy, what did he go buy when y'all lived in this house? Probably with no insulation. Might have had a car. Remember what
Oh, he went and bought a gun.
kind of gun?
Oh.
That Browning shotgun he
Yeah,
still got?
yeah, that brown with a gold trigger, I think.
Is that the same one, Pod?
We didn't have a
Pod had one too, as wore out.
we didn't have a nothing. We had
Yeah.
a bed, a baby bed, a stove in the middle of the room, and a couch.
But you were happy,
But we'd always go take our baths over at his mom's.
Nanny's.
She have indoor plumbing.
And wash over there.
She have indoor plumbing.
Yeah, she had a bathroom.
Okay. Now y'all were happy until 1965 and Wally was born,
What happened then, Mama? Then I came along.
and things went downhill until 67.
Julie was 6, and I come along and said, "Dog, this one's so good, let's get another." And then Tony come along, needs your favorite, and then you said, "We can't have no more for a while." Is that how it went?
Well, that's kind of getting personal, Wally. So don't talk about that, Mama. You may hurt Wally's feelings.
What year did they introduce Paragard?
Well, I don't know, because I was always under the influence during that time.
Well, Paragard was the doctors went to when you went and said he's not happy.
Grumpy,
He just
Is grumpy the
wants
word?
something to eat.
How about hungry?
unsatisfied.
Maybe he's hungry.
Said,
Grumpy.
Give him some oats. Give him some oats.
We call it hangry.
Doctor, he still ain't. He's probably got the colic, but that was before.
But we won't test him, so we'll
Give
give
him-
him Paragard.
Give him a little bit of Paragard with some water in it, and
What-
he'll be all right. He'll sleep.
What Mama is saying is this: Wally was a grumpy baby,
Yeah.
and nothing has
Still
changed.
is.
Now he's a grumpy 60 years old.
Yeah, Mr. Sunshine.
But for those of you that don't know, Paragard, the ingredients, the ingredients are morphine and whiskey.
Yeah. And I survived.
Well,
And it made me a stronger person.
we're not.
but
We're not.
I go over my addiction around five.
Wally was dazed out with morphine and whiskey when he's a kid, which does explain a lot.
Yeah.
Well, what should have happened? Maybe I should have drunk it, and I'd give it to him.
That probably would have made it easier on you.
If it's that, I wasn't aware of what it was.
Well, anyway,
Well, how much have things changed? Because we didn't even talk about the equipment y'all had back then. We talked about no electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So we've done made it up to about 1970. And
well, I'm
did
curious.
they have tractors?
Yeah, how do Grandpa and them work the field?
Well, I remember Dad and him using mules, and they broke the ground
With
But
mules?
with mules.
with the mules. And I can remember seeing the blackbirds when they'd break that ground, how they'd all gather. Remember that? And and we'd sometimes walk in it because it was cool, especially if it was hot. But I also remember them having John Deere tractors. Now, they didn't have cabs on them or even tops on them. But I remember Daddy driving John Deere tractors also. And I remember the first cotton picker. I was still at home, and it was a one row. And I remember seeing it picking one of the fields down behind the lake.
And it was a tractor driving backwards
Yeah.
with a cotton picking machine on
yeah,
top of
with a
it
basket, yeah.
and a basket.
It was an implement you put on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably ran off of the PTO.
It
shop.
probably did around that weather header did because it would have went towards it.
Wonder how they drove it.
It had a thing up there and they run the steering wheel up into it. They drove it backwards.
Yeah,
They drove it in reverse.
I don't know.
And that was
that.
basically the beginning of mechanized farming. It was after World War II.
Yeah, but I can remember them picking with those, and I can remember when we was little, they still hand picked
Some
when we
I remember.
were
Well,
there.
When Wally was little, He was 5 days old. I had to go to the field with him and pick up the hands to take home.
I went with you, didn't I?
You went with me. I laid you in the seat. There were no car seats like they got now. I just laid you in the seat back there. You wasn't going to move.
It was pre-Paragort, but I can remember them laying on me on a cotton sack and dragging me through the field. Of course, they didn't drag you very far. Jetty Manley.
Oh.
I can remember that.
Yeah.
I remember it too.
So you was alive, so I probably was Paragorted.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember picking. I remember people picking and getting pulled on a cotton sack.
Mm-hmm.
You anything to say, RT?
No.
I wasn't dazed by morphine.
Yeah.
Well, I'd guarantee you if they had Paragort now, it'd fly off the shelves, don't you reckon?
Well, it does.
It does.
If
Okay,
it's those two ingredients.
Yeah. So they went to mechanical, and then,
That did away with a lot of the sharecroppers. And
that's when they started moving up north
Well,
because they were starving to death.
Well, the chemicals killing the weeds and the way you plant now. Back then, they planted seed. I mean, you had to thin that cotton out. It ain't like it is. It's nothing compared to today's farming.
Oh, it's changed so much since I was started.
Back then, the cotton was probably seed that they got from the gents.
Mm-hmm.
But the evolution of the equipment is what did away with these small communities.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like,
And farm sizes.
Yeah. Used to it took 4 families to farm a plot of ground,
Probably
sharecropping.
150 acres, and now you can do it in.
I think it was about 25 acres a family back then.
Seems like that's what I've heard too.
So this is in the 70s.
We've got to the 70s.
To the 70s. What was Bogota like?
Yeah, that's a good.
What was around here?
The green fly.
How many people?
I think they estimated, and I've heard, I don't know this to be a fact, around 300.
Was there only a church,
There was
schoolhouse, and a store?
No, there was 3 churches. There was 1, 2, 3, about 4 stores.
And a garage down there at the other end.
Yeah.
Which is now the.
Rogers Man Cave.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Where we're
about
talking
the, that's about the No Limit Cafe.
No, that was this garage. This was actually
Tractor dealership.
This
at
was
one
a
time.
Moline tractor dealer.
Indianapolis Moline Tractor. But anyway, you had 3 stores. What were they?
Woodrow had a store.
Arnott's Grocery,
Gatlin, Miss Gatlin. They had a
Pilkington's
store.
Grocery.
Alan Walker had a store.
Mm-hmm.
Then that building, Johnson.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't remember
that's
that
out
one.
there.
Yeah, I don't remember that. So there was 4. Then there was this garage, and there was our dealership, and there was another one.
There's
And there were
cafe,
3 churches.
3 churches.
The Green Fly Cafe.
Yeah,
Epley's,
A cotton gin.
yeah.
Cotton Gin. Now, what were the church? Church of Christ, Baptist, Methodist?
Mm-hmm.
Where was the Methodist church?
It was down by Knowles.
Over by where the post office
Where that white church is? That was the Methodist.
There was a post office. The post office was in Harness Grocery, correct?
Right. In the store,
In the store.
not in the song building, up in the corner
Uncle Woodrow was the postmaster, and he also ran the store. It was kind of like Green Acres.
And I worked in the store and worked in the post office.
Now, what was the bridge like back then?
Have you
Did it
seen the
wooden
one?
bridge?
You seen the one that goes to O'Bine
Yep.
and Trimble?
It's closed.
It was this twin.
Yeah, I know.
The one that's closed now.
Yeah, it's this twin. It was this twin, just a narrow concrete bridge with banisters. You could, with little gaps in them, about as wide as the road. Now the road.
That's how wide it was.
Line to
Really.
Now,
line.
was that the same bridge I remember that was there before?
The only
they
other
replaced
one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, does the one at between O'Bine and Trimble, does it have the green
No.
Trust-
metal structure?
It don't have the over thing on it.
No.
Does
I
it
don't
not?
know.
Now, the one at Bogota had a green, and I guess it was for support or something. It was
Yeah,
green
it's like the
structure.
one from Lennox they put up there at Lakewood. It had that green.
Well, it was a 2-lane.
It was 2 lane, but it was 2 lane.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
No shoulder.
there was no shoulder. You couldn't get across it with a modern tractor.
Is that where they had that wreck that time with a big truck and
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, it was probably built in the 30s. But
What was the community like then? Did y'all have community functions and
Had
They had a
basketball
home
team.
demonstration club. Of course, we had a school back then,
school?
and we were centered around that school, really. And it was called the Bogota Panthers,
the school was
the ball teams.
What year was that school built?
52. 1952.
the building that's now the community center was built in 1952. But before they had that, there was a school here. It was over there behind where Wally's house is now, and it was an old army barracks that they trucked in here.
So it burnt. Is that why they built this school?
No,
At
They
one
just-
time, Bogota had a 2-year high school,
no, they just built it because it was a.
and I think they won state in basketball. Margaret Prescott was on that team.
They only went to high school for 2 years.
Well, they had to go somewhere else after that.
Oh, okay.
They had a 2-year high school, 9th and 10th grade. That was before my coming to Bogota.
Well, Bogota, what have you seen? I guess we got to go on up through school, and the farming got bigger and less people, and now we're down to 2025. And what would you say? There's 50 people here? 80?
50,
We counted one time.
Yeah, we did, but I can't.
75, 80,
Now, when
maybe
she-
100.
Now, when you said 300 people, you meant 300 people in Bogota,
Yeah.
Well,
not counting the surrounding places.
oh, not kind of Broadmoor and places like that.
Now, how many people went to the Bogota school? Wasn't it 200 or 300 kids?
There was
one time?
300 when Wayne Gardner started. I remember him saying that.
So it was probably around 300 when we started. Then they started shipping the kids away. Remember your class only had 8,
They
We-
saw.
My
6
class,
or 8.
in the, I guess, 1980 maybe, we had what they call a split class. The 7th and 8th grade was together, and I think we had 8 kids.
Yeah, and you was number 7 in the class.
I don't know if I was that high. I think I was 8.
You in the valedictorian?
No.
No. I'll tell you this story about me. I couldn't, I have a hard time spelling now, and I really had a hard time spelling then.
Me too.
And we would have spelling tests on Wednesdays. And if you made 100 on Wednesday, you had spelling tests on Wednesdays and Fridays. Everybody that made 100 on Wednesday did not have to take the spelling test on Friday. And I was always taking the spelling test on Friday, and a lot of times I was the only one taking the spelling test on Friday. So no,
He got
I was
that.
not. I was not the valedictorian.
He got that from me,
D-O-G.
dog.
Well, look here. Now you think you're the smartest of all of us.
Hey, y'all better mention them other 3 kids being born, or 2 kids being born.
Hold on. Tony was the first
Y'all gonna be
in our
trouble.
family to graduate college.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then he's the first one that was with a doctorate.
yeah.
And only.
Still only?
Mhm.
Wow.
Not that it matters.
Oh, it does to you.
It doesn't to me.
But all in all, the
It
kids,
doesn't matter to me.
even going to Bogota, they got what they needed.
Yeah.
They got a good education. They were treated right. They didn't have to worry about all this stuff that's going on in a lot of these larger schools now. And they come out there, and I know some of the classes that my kids were in, the Bogota kids in the top 10, they would be at least 8 or 9 of them.
It
At
ended
least
up
in
being
the top
Pagoda
10.
ended up being like a kind of like a little private school because
Yeah.
it got to be the class sizes were so small.
You know, I left and went to a school like that, and it was a major difference in learning for me.
Did you go to Pagoda?
No, I went to 5th, and then 7th and 8th grade I went to Yorkville, which is similar to Bogota. I think there was 13 in my class, and class 4 was 6, and it made a big difference.
Oh, you had you had more
Yeah.
individual attention.
Definitely,
Teachers,
definitely.
teachers knew who you were. I can remember, or tell you asked Mama this, but I can remember this being a kid in the 70s, where Halloween, you would have 20 or 30 kids walking
Straight.
the little, 2 little blocks that we've got, knocking on people's doors and stuff and getting candy.
And we celebrated Halloween for a month before and a month after.
Yeah.
I feel like I did that when I was a kid.
Was y'all part of that? Don't
We
drive through
rolled,
Bogota
though.
on Halloween.
Exactly.
We wasted toilet paper though.
You wasted.
Hedge apples.
We rolled people's yards
Well,
for
anyway.
2 months.
Anything else y'all want to add? It's Mama's getting tired, I believe.
Yep. Well, Mom, if you had to go back and do anything, what would you change?
And please don't hurt Wally's.
That's all right, Mom. I can handle it. Tony's been the favorite forever, and he needs to keep being.
Well, I'm not the favorite, but I should be.
Well, looking back, I hated that my parents had it so rough.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us everything they could. Might made it a little easier on them. But as far as my life, I wouldn't change nothing. I think y'all have all done well. And God's been good.
Oh, wait.
So, and I'm still here at 84.
You know, at 60, I look back and I wish my parents didn't have it so rough. I mean, so we all feel the same way because it's easier now than it was then. You know, still had to work all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, but as hard as we think we work,
No,
it
we
wasn't
don't.
nothing like that.
No, not even close.
Because when they would go home, it's not like, ooh, it's hot outside, let's turn down the AC. It wasn't. It wasn't like, I'm going to ask this. Did you take and I'm asking you this because people didn't know, did y'all take baths every day?
No.
No, you didn't.
In the wintertime, Mama ordered us underwear. And that's one piece under our suit, under our clothes. We had 2 or 3 of those all winter long. Of course, she washed them, don't get me wrong. But no, we washed our face, our hands, our feet, whatever. But no, not baths every day.
And it wasn't because you were dirty, it was because
Pan baths, little.
because it wasn't any bathtubs.
Right,
For you to take a bath, and I've seen people do it. Y'all had a metal tub
When we were younger.
that y'all would put in the floor, and y'all would pour water in it, and
That you had to heat.
you had to heat.
Behind the stove in
Yeah.
the winter. Outside in the sunshine and sun.
Yeah, because it was cold.
But I forgot to tell you that you asked me what all we did when we got through with the crops. I forgot about my daddy would fix a camper on the back of a truck. He'd have a truck back, and we did go in a car one time. And we'd go to Michigan and pick cherries.
So y'all's vacation was going to Michigan to pick cherries,
Pick cherries after we got the crops laid by.
as in July.
Yeah.
Y'all would drive that truck, and,
Daddy would.
and y'all would sit in the bed.
We would, they'd put one of them feather beds or something in the back end of it, and us kids would all get back there. And to stay, if he was driving and it'd be late at night, he'd just pull up to a gas station or somewhere and say, "Do you mind if I park here?" And we'd sleep in that truck at night and go on to where we were going.
Or tell you, we went to a vacation to St. Louis in the back end of a truck.
Yeah, we did. We took them.
I went to Nashville in the back of one when I was a kid.
Everybody used to ride in the back of the trucks all the time.
But
Everywhere.
y'all went there to.
We
call it a
went-
vacation, but y'all actually went up there to make more money.
We worked. We worked.
Now y'all stay up there how long?
Well, until we got I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks, just till we would work. It'd be like the sharecropper thing. This man that owned the orchard would give us a place to live, and we'd have to stay there till we got his
Cherries in.
His cherries, and cherries were all picked by hand then. They're not picked by like they are now. They were all picked by hand with a bucket strapped around you and a ladder. You climb up that tree.
Now you and I guess Peanut and Kip, 2 of your brothers, one of your sisters, go back up there a few years ago.
We did. We went back and reminisced and reenacted.
Didn't y'all find the farm that y'all used to go to when you was a kid?
We went to the cherry orchard that we used to go. It was all different, and of course the man, can't remember his name, that we dealt with, Daddy dealt with. His son built a house there and lived on that same spot.
Did he remember y'all coming?
He remembered our family.
Okay. Did he let y'all?
Well, now we didn't talk to him actually that time. Peanut had been one time before that and
Okay.
talked to him.
So he let y'all kind of walk around the thing?
Well, we did.
Okay.
Whether him or not, we didn't ask him. We just
Kind of like
did.
them peaches again.
Yeah, we did.
Don't tell us if you ate a cherry or not. Statute of limitation may not be run.
I've been it.
Well, anything else you want to add, Mama?
No, I don't guess. I just thank God every day for another day and for living in where I live, and the Bogota's a good place, and hope to stay here till I die.
Okay.
You better tell them your other two daughters' names. We talked about Julie.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I have two more daughters, Jill and Jennifer. Jill lives in Springfield, and she has two girls, and she was actually the valedictorian of her high school class, and she went to Dare County High. And then Jennifer has one little boy, Boone, and she was salutatorian of her high school class at Dare County. And I just think they got good education when they went through elementary and junior high at Bogota. So I was proud of that.
Jill and Jennifer.
Jill and Jennifer. My kids are Wally and Tony and Jill and Jennifer and Julie.
All right. Well, in that, the order is
And
Julie,
Drew.
Wally, Tony, Jill, Jennifer, and
And Drew.
age. And Drew.
And Doug.
And Doug.
And Bubba. Oh, wait a minute.
Bubba, that's the next episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, anything you want to add, Wally?
No, kind of fun to talk about, and that way when we're gone, somebody else can hear it. I know it probably won't be the most exciting episode we've had, but for the smallest podcast in America, it's important to us.
Bubba, anything you want to add?
No, I really enjoyed listening to some of the stories, and you take for granted what we have nowadays for what people grew up with. And it's very interesting.
It makes you a stronger person.
Oh, I definitely.
Arte, anything you want to
Makes
add?
you more strong-willed,
Yeah.
Determined.
determined,
Anything?
stubborn. I like it. No, the only thing I was going to add, I guess, is we kind of butt heads some, but I really appreciate you and the example you set for my wife and for my daughter. So I wanted to say that on here. So
Thank you.
Arte's back in the house again. That's pretty.
Yep.
That was actually
Ain't
smart.
he getting touchy?
Getting touched.
He's
Don't-
becoming one of
don't-
your favorites.
Don't be touchy.
He could be.
yeah,
He could be. Few little kinks here and there.
Well, that was actually nice, Arte.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, this may not be the type of episode that people would normally tune in the Pagoda Boys listen to. I mean, it's not about hunting and things, although there was some hunting there. But it is I think, a good example of how people around here, and Mama's story is not uncommon. I mean, this was a common way people back then in this particular area lived, because it was a poor area. You had some people that had some money, and if you had money, I don't mean you were rich. I mean, you had some dollar bills in your pocket, because a lot of times these people did not have any money. They borrowed it on credit. I mean, they bought things on credit, then they, quote, settled up at the end of the year.
Right.
And they, by settling up, means they went and paid the person. And the person who, sold them food on credit and things like that didn't have to worry about it, because they knew that those people would come and, take care of things. I've heard stories where it may be 5 or 10 years before somebody can settle up, but they come and they find the person. But anyway, and that's not that long ago. I mean, you're talking about the 1950s. I mean, it may seem like a long time, but it's not that long ago. Well, I'm glad we could have you on, Mama, and hope we asked you some questions and made you bring back some good memories and things of that nature. And I'm proud to be son. I love you.
Like I love you.
Yeah, me too, Mama.
Oh, now, Wally, look at that. See,
Wally, Tony, you brought up a little bit about now how part of the way Daddy did too is we would charge all winter long if you had to have things other than what our staples were. If he went to the grocery store, he put it on credit, and he paid it off at the fall of the year. That's a good point. That's just the way we were. That's the way we lived.
you lived on credit, but it wasn't like you were going
No.
out and buying 4 purses and 7
No.
7 shotguns and 24 pairs of shoes. It was
Survival.
you were buying something to eat and things of that nature. Maybe if a kid imagine if somebody got sick back. I mean, because you didn't have probably health insurance back then.
Oh, no.
Well, anyway.
I've been hearing some stories out of Memphis where they're going in and doing this. It's a lot of some communities, the houses don't even have water. They're having to all go to one place and tote their water to the other houses because they can't pay their water bill. So it's still going on. I don't know what the answer is, but we do live a good life. It's peaceful. We have a flood every once in a while, but
Y'all used to have. We didn't ask you about the floods, Mom. We got to get you back on and tell you can tell us about how it was when the water came up.
yeah.
All right. Anything else before we close?
Don't forget the coon hunt.
Coon hunt. Look on the Facebook thing for the meal series, I guess. Details, Bubba. RT, you got a quote or a poet or anything
he's got something else now he's doing. What is that, RT? A Bible verse?
You doing a verse?
You want me to do one?
Yeah, I mean, you started that like
2 hours ago.
Yeah, and done forgot.
I'll find one.
Well, while you're looking, RT, Bubba, anything you want to add?
No, I'm good. Like I said, just remember that November the 14th.
There was something else.
What's November 14th? Oh, November 14th is
the coon hunt. Yeah.
And then the youth banquet.
The youth banquet, of course, we'll have.
Of course, that's next year.
Yeah.
In February.
That's next year. Isn't there and y'all gonna have like a deer hunting weigh-in?
Well, we never did get it put together.
All right,
yeah, as usual.
Let's not bring it up then if it's not put together.
And we're going to have a special guest next episode. We're looking forward to that. So,
Well, I thought I was special.
You are.
You are.
And we ain't having a more special. We're just having another special.
Do we know who it is?
Yep. It's John Rose, who's running for governor.
Oh, okay.
Very good interview with him.
Well, you looking forward to having an interview with him?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
we'll have a good one.
Where's he from?
Clarksville.
Where's he from?
Clarksville. Cookville.
Okay. Isn't he like a U.S. representative?
He is. I think he was the Secretary of Ag one time in Tennessee.
For the state of Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting to see.
Very interested man.
Well, let's let RT do this the next time. He's having difficulty.
You want me to pray and then you can do it, RT?
No.
You just want me to pray?
Well, I guess. I wasn't thinking.
That's okay.
And I wasn't.
We don't want to put you on the spot or nothing.
You go ahead and say a prayer while we're wrapped up.
Yeah.
All right. Let us pray. Dear Lord, thank you for another good podcast of the Bogota Boys. And thank you for letting us, our mama, get on here and tell about her life and give us something to always look forward to listening to and thinking about and just enjoy. I want everyone to reach out and think about their mama and then maybe go see your mom if she's still alive. You know, take care of family. And another good Bogota Boys episode. Let us remember to try to do something Christ-like in the next coming day. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
This is Bogota Boys wrapping up this episode with our special guest, Judy Bardry Childress. Until we can meet again, we're broadcasting from the No Limit Cafe in downtown Bogota, Tennessee.